Recording in progress.
What up? What's good, family? I'm your boy Trey Frazier. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What up? What up? Welcome to another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Special shout out to all of our Facebook Live viewers right now. Make sure y'all tune in on our Facebook page, click the like button, and you could also follow us on our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast and also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. Maestro Styles, what's good, man? How we feeling today?
I'm good, man. Ready to go. Wild football weekend, man.
Man, wild is understatement, bro. That was some crazy stuff we saw over the weekend. Let me give a couple shout outs first. And I just want to thank everybody who reached out to me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, phone calls, texts, wishing me a happy birthday. My birthday was Saturday, 39 years old, still looking fly, looking better than some of these 25-year-olds. Appreciate everybody, wishing a kid a happy birthday. And I got to shout out my homeboy Melvin. He's your homeboy too, Maestro. But we had a conversation on Saturday, and he was like, man, you ain't even shout me out about the fantasy football stuff. And I was like, oh, snap. You know what? A few weeks ago, I was going to shout you out on winning the fantasy football league after what?
Man, fuck that nigga.
After what? We've been doing this 14 years.
I don't even know.
we've been doing this league too long.
It was to me.
But Melvin has he's been knocking on the door a few times and been coming up short. But finally this year he got the 1 seed in the fantasy football playoff, and he finally got the chip. So I just want to shout my brother out, for finally doing that after 14 years.
Fuck that nigga. So, nah.
That's it.
He know why I'm saying fuck that nigga, but that's but yeah, whatever.
Yeah. I know you was in the playoffs too, so I know you're not too happy about getting knocked out. So, but let's get into this though, man. I think it's only right that we start off with the Bills and the Chiefs game from Sunday night, and I guess where do you want to start at, bro? What part of this game do you want to focus on?
I mean, I guess it's important to give praise where praise is due, man. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, AFC Championship once again, but really for all of those people who were concerned about who's the best quarterback in the league, and people might, with him doing a little more dinking and dunking that he's been doing this year because people are playing for the deep ball, people, his stats aren't as it's been in his quote unquote best years. If there's ever a question about who's the best quarterback in the league, if there's ever one right now, it's Patrick Mahomes, man. And I don't care about nothing else nobody talking about. With all due respect to Josh Allen, who in my mind has definitely stepped up some ranks after this game, in my personal opinion. If there's a question as to who's the best, Patrick Mahomes is still the best.
I always thought he was the best. Even through the struggles earlier this year, even when the Ravens beat him, the Chargers beat him, the Bills got him, and the Titans got him earlier this year too. I always thought he was the best quarterback in the league, and even through all those struggles, with the way they've kind of rectified their season and getting at the top of the AFC number 2 seed, I just thought that this team, no matter where they were gonna finish in the playoff seeding, that they were gonna be the favorite, if not at least to get to the Super Bowl. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this game for me was a reminder that Patrick Mahomes is still that dude. He's still that dude. Now we can talk about the 13 seconds, which I think everybody is kind of overblowing it a little bit because you think and I think the crazy thing is that people are making the comparison to the 13 seconds for the Chiefs versus the 14 seconds that the Cowboys had, and they eventually, we know what happened. They messed up the drive. They wasn't able to get another playoff before the clock struck zero. Kansas City
Mm-hmm.
had three timeouts. They had all of their timeouts. That was
Right.
the key. That was the key to them doing what they did in 13 seconds. It's not just, oh, they had 13 seconds, well, because let's be honest, without those timeouts, I don't think they're doing that. That's just my opinion.
Um.
I don't think they're doing that if they don't have any of those timeouts.
Okay. I agree. Well, listen. Them having the timeouts obviously has a big part to do with what happened. Clearly, there's nothing about that.
Yeah.
I think but I do also think what has to be recognized is that he made the two throws that got them into field goal range. That's not to ever be trivialized, regardless if they had the timeouts or not. That needs to be honored.
Of course.
I don't know that he does or doesn't do it in the 13 seconds with if, so I mean, are you saying that if he had one timeout he wouldn't have done it? Obviously, if he had no timeouts, I'm with you. But
That's what I'm
where is
saying.
it? What happened?
If he didn't have any of those timeouts, I don't think they're doing what they did. Now, if he had one timeout, then I don't think you see a throw in the middle of the field. I think you see something on the sideline to where they can stop the clock. So yeah, if they had one timeout, I can still see them doing what they did. But
Okay.
without any timeouts, I just don't see it.
Yeah, so I agree. So I agree with you that they definitely wouldn't have thrown it over the middle,
Hmm.
without those timeouts. So yeah, I mean we agree in some respect, but I don't think I don't think the three timeouts downplays or the ruckus is for a good reason. Is my point. All the ruckus, all the flowers, all the hype he's getting behind it is warranted.
Hmm. Yeah,
Irregardless and
I
irregardless.
agree with that part, and not to cut you. I'm just saying I'm emphasizing it more because people are bringing the Cowboys situation into it, and I'm saying no, don't bring the Cowboys 14 seconds into it because the Cowboys had no timeouts, so there's no comparison at
Hmm.
all.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I did see those comparisons, but to be honest, I didn't pay those comparisons no mind. Yeah, this ain't the same thing.
It's
This ain't the
not.
same
Yeah.
situation like you said. They had no timeouts. I mean, and more than that, this was a flat out barn burner. Whatever the four letter networks say, barn burners. Like this was that game.
Hmm.
This is one of those games that go down in history as one of the greatest NFL games ever played. I'm not going to sit here and be like, try to rank it, but when you go down the history of NFL games ever played, I think this ranks. This is in that conversation. Like instant classic. Those instant classic shows you see on NFL Network. This is one of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. I mean,
And what a way to end already great fucking divisional round. Or what a way to
hmm
end it. Like this was one of them games. This was one of them games for the ages. You go back and look. And I mean, as much praise as I'm giving Patrick Mahomes, like I said, Josh Allen. I've had my even last year when he was doing this thing. Like I
hmm
mean, I still kind of had my reservations. Like the way he balled Sunday.
Hmm.
Yeah, I gotta give him his props, man. I gotta give him his props, man. He's up there. He's up
Yeah,
there
he
with
showed
the
up. He answered the call. He
yeah
answered the call
he's up
twice.
yeah
Twice.
yeah yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
He
don't
answered the bell.
I I seen skipping Shannon on there like who the hell is Gabriel Davis? I mean I obviously didn't know who he was, but
Hmm.
like Josh Allen turned this dude like the price just went up for Gabriel Davis. The price went up.
Hmm.
And it's because of Josh Allen. The price went up. Like
Hmm.
that type of performance in the playoffs. If he ain't a free agent, I don't know his contract situation, but whenever he is,
Yeah.
this game pushed that price up.
Yeah.
This
You
game pushed
better.
that price up, and if the Bills are smart, they extended them, to keep him with Josh
I
Allen.
was gonna
But
say better
price
extend
definitely
him.
went up.
Better extend him or
Yeah,
something,
price
or
definitely went up. Price went up.
because and he's got to. I mean, not necessarily like duplicate that performance because we're talking what 4 touchdowns and
No,
200 something yards receiving.
two
So
hundred yards. Yeah,
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 so he's not going to duplicate that. But if he could be like a solid number two receiver alongside Stephon Diggs, then yeah, that price is going to stick. And somebody, like you said, you don't know what the contract situation is, but if it's not Buffalo, then somebody's going to give him some money to be potentially their number one. So
yeah.
shout out to
Well, I don't think
Gabriel
he's gonna get number
Davis.
one money. I don't think he's gonna get number one money off of that, but he definitely gonna get solid number two money.
Right. I don't think he
He
gets
definitely
number
gonna get solid
one
number
money
two money.
either, but he could get number two money and end up being somebody's number
Yeah.
one receiver.
Okay.
It's
Like
possible.
in a like a Jacksonville situation or
Something like that. Yeah.
Carolina. Yeah. Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like
I
that.
agree.
So,
I agree.
how much stock do you put into the whole? Well, they should have squib kicked right after the second touchdown. How much of that do you put into
Look,
it?
man. It depends on how much faith you think I have in Kansas City special teams, man. Kansas, and how much faith you think I got in Buffalo's kicker being able to make the kind of kick where somebody doesn't just fair catch it. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
in my mind, I'm of the belief that if you squib it again, you got to make sure the ball hits the ground before it becomes an issue. And if the ball don't hit the ground, then you just gave him more yards. To be honest, so not so. I'm not so much a big proponent of it. I know there's a lot of people saying, well, they should have scripted it and made them run the ball. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why would they run the ball with 13 seconds? Why would the Chiefs special teams coach not say, hey man, if the
Mm-hmm.
ball roll, fall on it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
Of
we want
course.
Patrick Mahomes to win this. We don't want, yeah,
Of course. And that would be smart of the Chiefs staff to do that. However, if you're Buffalo, I think if you decide that I'm going to squib kick this ball because I want to force them to make a decision, because at least if I kick it in the end zone, then I've basically made the decision for them. I don't want to do that. I want to squib kick so that they can decide quick in a hurry. Oh snap! They're kicking it inside the five. What should I do here? Because if I fall on it, then we got 95 yards to go. If I try to make a return for it, then I could get some yards back. Like if you're Buffalo, you still have to force them to make a decision whether they make the right smart decision or whether they do something stupid on their side.
yeah, yeah. Yes, you're right in concept. For me, I don't think I think that Kansas City would have had their players better coached up. Hey, fair
Mm-hmm.
catch it. I mean, I guess there always could be the if he drops it type of situation,
Someone could have
but
a brain fart. Yeah, someone could have a brain
yeah,
fart. You,
but
you just never know.
sure, yeah, sure, sure. But if you don't, or if the kick go bad and on bad on Buffalo's end, like it's not a good kick, like
Right.
there's also parameters that could go wrong for Buffalo. I guess I get what you're saying, but for me, um, defense got to stop him, man. Defense got to stop him. The
Now,
defense
just
got to stop him,
because.
and
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you finish that.
the defense got to stop him. And I guess it was about maybe 50 yards, 44 yards or something they had to cover to get the field goal.
Yeah.
You got to play defense, man. You got to play defense for 13 seconds. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying they came into this game, one of the better or the best defensive team statistically in the league. It's like, hey man, what were you the best defensive team for if you can't stop a quarterback,
Number one
any quarterback,
in
not just
most
Patrick Mahomes?
categories. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can't stop him for 13 seconds, it's just like, all right, well, maybe we don't deserve to be here. Not to, maybe we don't deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of goes into the conversation that, I guess the big conversation about the overtime rule. And it's for me, it's just, bruh, I don't even get it, but if that's what y'all doing, y'all on the give the other team, the other offense a chance. Look, man, if your defense can't get your offense another chance, man, then you don't deserve to win in my book. I've never been a fan of the whole if it's a field goal, give somebody else a chance. I've never been a fan of none of that, man. I've never been a
Mm-hmm.
fan of that.
Yeah, I know why. I know why the conversation came up because we just saw 25 points scored in the last 2 minutes of a football game, and everybody just wants to see that continue on both sides, right? Like if like
Mhm.
if like if the Niners and the Packers went into overtime and Rodgers gets the ball and he scores a touchdown and seals the game, I don't think anybody is bringing this conversation up. You know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
nobody's saying I want to see Jimmy Garoppolo with the football. Nobody's saying that.
Right.
Um, so yeah,
But they are but they are possibly saying it. I'm sorry, they are possibly saying in reverse, if Jimmy Garoppolo got the ball and went down the field, they are possibly saying we wanted to see Aaron Rodgers.
yeah,
But
yes,
look,
yep,
man, the
hmm
defense got to stop him, man. The defense got to stop him, man.
yeah, yeah. And everyone's made comparisons to, well, if you're in baseball and you go into extra innings, both offenses get a chance. If you go into overtime for basketball, both teams get a chance. It's two totally different sports. It's two totally different situations. One unit is out on the field, the offense. There's another unit on the field called the defense. you know, Defense makes a play, you
Yeah,
get your offense the ball. That's how it
yeah.
works. I'm not an advocate for a rule change in that regard to the overtime, but if they had to do it, I think the way you do it is whether the first team scores a touchdown or a field goal, give that other offense the opportunity to match whatever they scored, and if they tie it, then that next possession, whoever scores next wins the game. I think that's how you got to go about it. But I'm not going to advocate for change because we watched 25 points in 2 minutes being scored. I'm just not that guy.
I am an advocate of going back to sudden death. That's what I'm an advocate of.
And
Take it
that
back to sudden death.
was and that was before they made the change to what it is now, right?
Yeah, I've never liked the rule.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've never liked the rule. I
Right.
don't need to. Like, if your defense can't get your quarterback on the field, then y'all don't deserve to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, they when they changed the rule, they kind of got it half right. Like they're saying, hey, if you score a touchdown, the game's over. If you score a field goal, then the game's got to keep on going. And it's like, well,
But here's the
that's
thing:
really
why is
not
the
changing
field?
it
Why
all
is
the
the
way around.
field? And then why is the field goal so insignificant? See, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
why is that's still points? Why is the field goal insignificant?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I agree with that. But kind of getting back to the 13-second thing for a second, because I think there's a couple of devil's advocate points to this. So yeah, I think we're on point when we say, hey, the defense has got to stop them, regardless of the amount of time that's left, the timeouts, and all that good stuff. Um, Look at it from the other side. As Buffalo's going down the field, the prior possession, Kansas City's got timeouts sitting there, and one would think, hey, maybe use a couple timeouts here, maybe stop the clock, in case they get closer, they score too quickly, and then you'll have some more time than 13 seconds. I think if you look at it from that standpoint, then I can understand, okay, maybe let's say Kansas City loses this game, then I think that point becomes somewhat brought up. But it is what it is. I mean, we could kind of go tit for tat.
Moot point.
Either
That's
way,
the moot point.
It's
Yeah,
a
that's
right.
a
It
moot
is.
point.
It is.
That's a moot
It's
point.
right. It is.
That's
It's
a moot
it's,
point.
it's a moot point because they won the game. But that there's certainly a couple of ways you could kind of reverse psychology this thing. Like, yeah, could the Chiefs have used some timeouts to preserve some clock? Sure, they could have used it, but they didn't. They didn't. So that was that.
That's like that moot point is like saying that Gabriel Davis wouldn't have had the game he had Tyrann Mathieu been playing. But the matter is Tyrann Mathieu wasn't playing. So it's like, yeah, but that's a moot point.
And Diggs, what Diggs had 3 targets in this game? From
3 catches.
Three
I thought he had
catches?
3 catches.
Yeah,
He had 3 catches. I thought that's what it was.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know if that was defense, just locking them down or what or
no. Gabriel Davis was cooking. He was cooking all game. He was.
No,
cooking.
I get that
So,
part.
I mean,
but Stephon Diggs, that's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's your dude. So if somebody's double teaming your guy,
ain't no point of forcing.
No, I get it. I get it. But I get the sense that Kansas City, on several occasions, had kind of had him locked up throughout the game. Even without the Honey Badger in there, I get the sense that, they had him in check, and Josh Allen was forced to go to Gabriel Davis, and Gabriel Davis showed out, and he balled out. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but I don't know if you got any more points in that game, but I'll say definitely game of the week. I thought a lot about the Las Vegas, the Week 18 Raiders Chargers game being the game of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm ready to put that even with all of the tie controversy and Pittsburgh getting in the playoffs because of it. I think I'm ready to make that number 2, man.
Mm-hmm. Now, why you bring up the time?
I think I'm ready to make that number 2.
Why'd you bring up
No,
the time?
No. I'm saying, well, that's because that was one of the reasons why I had the Raiders Chargers game as my favorite game. The best game of the year. That was one of the reasons why I had that as the game of the year. But even with that,
because of the whole playoff scenario.
Yeah, everything
Okay.
right.
Okay.
But now with the I guess the Clash of the Titans and Clash of the Titans with the Chiefs and the Bills, man, I think this is the game of the year, man. This game was the game of the year, man. Two best not best quarterbacks in the league, but for certain, I think 1 and 2 in the AFC. I think
regular season and postseason combined, this was the best game. Regular season, postseason combined, this was the best game of the year. And quite frankly, it was fitting.
And the Chiefs and the Bills are officially a rivalry.
Yeah.
But this is officially a rivalry. This is officially a rivalry.
But I hope it's not going to be the only rivalry. I hope it's not going to be the only rivalry because look, bruh, and I as I'm watching this game and as I'm watching the ending, I kept saying to myself, man, I can't wait for Lamar Jackson to get back healthy 100% because this man is about to wreak havoc and create hell for these dudes that's like leaving him out of the conversation. I don't know if you picked up on this, but people on TV, folks on Twitter, the AFC's in good hands. You got Mahomes, you got Josh Allen, you got Herbert, you got Joe Burrow, and I'm like, they forget about this man already? They forget
I
this dude. They
mean,
forget this dude. They forget this dude
I
who's got a league
mean,
MVP right now. They forget this dude set out. The rest of the season got hurt, so now the man don't exist no more. Oh, hell no. My man is about to unleash hell next year, bruh. I can't wait for this dude to get back, bruh. They gotta put some respect on Lamar's
look,
name,
man.
bruh.
Look, he's definitely still top 5 in the AFC. I mean, I can't put the likes of a Derek Carr above Lamar Jackson. I can't do that. But where it stands right now, and I get injury does have something to do with what I'm doing. I'm definitely partially a prisoner of the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But where it stands right now, and I'm confident in saying it, if he comes back 100% next year,
Mm-hmm.
it is Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, and Burrow, and for that and then Jackson 5. But man, man,
I don't care where you
left this
rank him.
game.
I don't care where you rank him. Just don't leave the man's name out when you're talking about those quarterbacks in the AFC. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. But what
Mm-hmm.
I will say is Lamar Jackson ain't throwing the ball like that, man. That's all I'm saying. He ain't throwing it like that. Now he definitely running it different, but he ain't throwing it like that. I left that get. I mean, I'll let you rebut. I'll let you rebut. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm not saying he don't deserve to be in the conversation. I'm agreeing with you. He deserves to be in the conversation.
Yeah,
He's not throwing the rock like Josh, like those four quarterbacks. He's not doing that.
So yes, number one, don't leave him out that conversation. The man's got a league MVP. Justin Herbert. While
I agree,
he can throw the football. While Justin Herbert can throw the football,
I agree.
That man has yet to be seen in the postseason. And Lamar's already been doing that. So,
Facts.
While I'll leave Herbert in the conversation, let's just keep in mind, this dude we ain't seen him in postseason play yet. We've seen Lamar in postseason play. So
100%. 100%. And let's be clear, he wasn't so great in postseason play now. Let's be clear, he wasn't so great in postseason play.
Agreed. Point taken. Throwing the football. Compared to those guys, yeah, I kind of agree. He doesn't throw it the way they throw it. Lamar Jackson can still throw the football now. He can.
No, not saying that. It's different though.
Yeah, I know, but people still question this guy's ability to throw the football, and I'm trying to tell niggas he can throw the rock. Okay, now does he have better weapons than the rest of these guys? I would say he's probably, if you took those 5 quarterbacks who had the best weapons, who you would rank them what? You'd rank them Mahomes got the best weapons, and then maybe what? Burrow after that?
Mm-hmm.
And then probably Herbert, and then Josh Allen, and then Lamar? Would you rank it that way?
Yep.
Okay.
That's accurate.
Okay, yep. So yeah, man. All I'm saying is, y'all want to have the conversations about the future of the AFC? Don't leave my man out, bro. That's all I'm saying. Don't leave him out these conversations.
We agree. But I understand why it's happening. I agree with you. Let me be clear in me saying I agree with you.
Yeah,
I get why it's happening.
Yeah.
I see why it's happening.
I understand why it's happening. But you messing with that man's money at the same time too. You messing with a black man's money at the same damn time.
It's not. Here you go playing that bullshit narrative. No, look.
How is that a BS narrative? The man has yet to get paid.
Let's be clear. His performance before he got injured wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
This is his fourth year of going into 5th year. Is that I know I'm probably messing up the years, but
this is his 4th year. This is his 4th year.
Okay, he's going into his 4th year.
No, going into his 5th year. Going into his 5th year.
Okay,
yeah.
So I was right. I'm sorry. So I was right.
Mm-hmm.
So he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great throwing the ball. Obviously, as a complete player, he is the most exciting player in the NFL right now,
Mm-hmm.
hands down. When throws have had to be made, there has been situations where he has not been able to make the throws. He's had fumbling issues. I'm not saying that he don't deserve to get his money, but we're not gonna sit here and act like, let's say this: out of those
Mm-hmm.
and all of them are young, so this is a
Yep.
fair comparison.
Yep.
He's had the worst. He's had the no. Herbert has the worst start. He's had the second to worst start of these 5 quarterbacks.
Start as far as the start of this regular season that just passed.
His career, their
Oh,
careers.
his career. Okay, you said the fourth best
Only person
start.
who's had a worse. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
No,
I
take
see
that
where
back.
you.
He's had a better start than Burrow. No. But I take it back. He's had a better start than Burrow because Burrow is only 2 years and he got injured his first year. So I put
Okay.
Burrow over.
Because I was almost going to agree with you in the sense that Burrow's got into the AFC title game in his second year, and Lamar has yet to get to the AFC title game. So
Yeah,
I think in that regard, I kind of agree with you. But at the same time, when you talk about the injury and then this being his second year, then yeah, I would argue for number 3 for Lamar, but I could understand if you dropped him to number 4.
I say, and I end my point, and I'm not saying, and look, let's be clear. I don't see Lamar getting anything short of $40 million. I don't see it. $40 million a year. I don't see him getting anything short of that. But the conversation is, with good reason, is that he can't throw the ball with those other 4 quarterbacks.
And yet,
it has been a hindrance.
And yet, early this season, this season that just ended, many people was chanting MVP because of the fourth quarter comebacks that he had. We can't just disregard what he did against the Colts on Monday night.
Wouldn't dare disregard.
You know what I'm saying? We can't disregard I forget what game it was. I forget the opponent.
They beat Kansas City. They beat Kansas City this year.
Beat the Chiefs in a comeback fashion. Another comeback. But there was a third comeback, and I forget the team. But let's not act like folks wasn't chanting MVP for this dude the first 6-7 weeks of the season before he started playing not so good. Before he started not playing so good.
But they were also doing that for Derek Carr too, bro.
What's that?
They were also doing that for Derek Carr.
Yeah, but I mean, it was clear.
I'm just saying. If
sure,
you want to give,
sure, but it was clear.
Come on now, yeah, you got to be fair
with the comebacks, and I get Derek Carr has had some late game heroics throughout the regular season also, but let's not act like Lamar wasn't that guy the first half of the season, and now all of a sudden we just gonna leave him out the conversation. Like I can't rock with that, man. Now, yeah, they do it differently. Lamar plays the position differently. He plays the position differently.
We agree that he should be in the conversation.
Yep.
We agree that he should be in the conversation. Let's be clear. We agree that he should be in the conversation. I'm just saying, in the scheme of a quarterback, and I'm not saying he don't belong. I'm just saying that I understand why they're coming from, the angle they're coming from. Yeah. Right or wrong, that's up to the person who hear it. But I understand the conversation. He should be in that conversation, in my opinion. And like I said, he shouldn't be making nothing less than $40 million a year. But there's a reason why he is number 5 in that conversation, in my opinion.
And speaking of the money,
as far as going in the future,
people were saying right after the Colts game, right after the comeback, they were saying, pay this guy now. This guy he's your best player.
Of the moment.
Pay this dude right now. But it was coming off of the heels of Kansas City. I mean, he had to come back against the Chiefs, and then he had to come back against the Colts. So I don't think it was a prisoner of the moment thing. He was doing this, multiple times before he got hurt.
Well, he should have been. He should be paid. So let me not try to
Yeah,
sound like I'm saying
but
he
you
shouldn't
but
be
you
paid.
know
He
how
should be
this thing
paid.
goes. But you know how media can influence a guy and what he gets paid. That you're right. There is a reason
I don't.
why
Yeah, I
he
agree with
leaves
that.
out a guy.
But
You're right.
there.
He when it comes to throwing the football, he does it differently than those guys. I get that. I get why they're leaving him out of the conversation and I think some of it is on purpose. That's just my opinion. But I think there's another half to this where you know you messing with a black man's money. I'm sorry. And look, you
I
don't
think
like
that's
me
the
sticking to
easy. I
that.
think that's a. I think that's. I do think that's a cheap narrative, though. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not saying. I'm not even saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's a cheap narrative.
Okay, I'm gonna stick to it though. But
All right.
let's talk about Rams and Buccaneers. I I really thought that this was gonna be Falcons Super Bowl 2.0. I really thought that. Cause and you
I
could go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. I was more so saying that I didn't have an opinion while the comeback was happening. All I kept saying to myself, and I was putting it on Twitter, is this is why they got the guys that they got. This is
Hmm.
why Von Miller and Odell Beckham comes in mid-season. This is why you get Matthew Stafford.
Yep.
This is why these things happen.
Yep.
We gonna find out real quick if Matthew Stafford is who everybody thought he was when he was drafted in Detroit all those years ago,
Hmm.
because now he got a LeBron going to Miami type situation where he walked into a squad, and now you got to deliver,
And made it better
and he
throughout the
delivered.
season. And they bolstered it up throughout the regular season, not just
Yeah,
the team
yeah,
that's there now. He went to a team that had stuff and then added more while he was there.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
we found out real quick about that. And if you want to blame the Bucks defense for the coverage, whatever, Matthew Stafford
Sure.
found him. Matthew Stafford found him.
Yeah.
That's the most
Yeah.
important part.
Period.
To the
Period.
holding them off, to stopping the bleeding. Because let's be honest, that was stopping the bleeding because two fumbles by Cam Akers, botched snap by the center, a missed field goal, and I forget the other. Oh, the Cooper Cup fumble.
The Cooper Cup fumble. Yeah.
Yeah, that and that's why I labeled it Falcons 2.0 because you could almost argue that had they lost that game to the Bucks, that this would have probably been worser collapse than the Falcons collapse in the Super Bowl, because of the things that happened that
Maybe.
led to that. Because the only thing I
Hmm.
remember, kind of going
Maybe.
back to the kind of going back to the Falcons Super Bowl, I just remember the Matt Ryan sack that took him out of field goal range. I remember a turnover that gave the Patriots the ball back, I think short field or whatever. And I remember the Edelman catch that almost wasn't caught, but he grabbed that
Hmm.
joint up. Those were
Yeah.
like the only like things that were like turning points to the Patriots comeback. The Rams had like 5, 6 different things happen to them that basically had this game tied. So that's why I'm arguing that this would have been a much worse loss collapse for them than it would have been for the Falcons against Tom Brady. But getting to Tom
Well, I'm
Brady,
never going to agree to that because they happened in the Super Bowl. I'm never going to agree to that because they happened in the
the
Super Bowl.
moment, yeah, the moments are different. It's the
Yeah.
biggest
So
stage,
yeah.
so I hear you.
Yeah. So
I
I'm never
totally
going to
hear
agree to
you.
that. Yeah.
I'm just pointing at the things that happened along with the comeback. I think the Falcons had less things happen to them than the Rams did, but so Tom Brady, I don't see this guy going away. I know that report came out, I think the morning of the game, and I'm just trying to think, okay, why they mentioning this right now? But I just don't see Tom Brady walking away from that defeat, you know. And just to be clear, he had a good second half, but that first half they was getting after it.
Yeah, yeah, they were taking advantage of Worth not being in for certain.
Yeah, yeah, they was getting after him, I guess we got to give a special shout out to Ed Hockley's son, who was reffing the game and gave Brady a what is it unsportsman what was it unsportsmanlike conduct or something
Unsportsmanlike
like that.
conduct,
Yeah.
for yelling at him or something because somebody, I forget who hit him, but he busted his lip.
Yep. Yep.
I didn't
Yep.
notice he had got his lip busted, and to be honest, I don't care. But just the fact that somebody threw a flag on him, because normally, he gets that off any other time in his career. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why all of a sudden maybe this dude ain't know no better, but you get Tom Brady gets that off. I don't know who the hell he thought he was, but I'm glad he did it.
Man,
It
he
was
said
it was refreshing to see.
he said he's Ed Hockley's son. That's who the hell I am. That's what he said.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is refreshing to see that he that happened for him. As far as the Tom Brady retirement thing, I can see it. I get the whole competitive thing, all those things. I mean, let's be clear, man. And I get, we said the same thing at 40. And this Bama is 45 years old, man. This and it's
And
not
led the league in
nothing to
passing,
say.
by the way.
I get it. I get it. I was
Mm.
going to say it's not to say that he obviously didn't have a great year and all those things, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, and again, I get it. He's competitive. What else do he really got to prove? What else
He got
did
to
he?
prove.
What else did
He
he
got to
really have
prove
to prove?
everything, bro. He got to prove everything. I
What
mean,
is
I hear
what
you.
is everything
I
at
hear
this
you.
point?
I hear you. I mean, realistically, he has nothing to prove. But if I were to go into the mind of Tom Brady, he got everything to
Well,
prove. He got everything to
I
prove,
mean, it's
bro.
easy.
Like,
I hear it's the fact that he's even kind of entertaining it at this stage is telling to me. I saw. I guess they were asking Bruce Arians, what was going on. I guess I don't know what they asked him to get the answer of. The other quarterbacks. He's comfortable with the other quarterbacks in his quarterback room. I don't know
mm-hmm.
what how he was asked that and they got to that answer, but I saw that he was a quote that said he was comfortable with the other quarterbacks in his quarterback room, which is bullshit. But cool, I let him get it off. I look, man. I just don't. Let me be honest. It might just be me wanting Tom Brady to retire.
I want him to go
My
too.
opinion.
I want him to go. I want him to get
Yeah,
the hell out the
it
league.
might be my. It might be me. It might be me just wanting him to retire. I mean, when they lost, I immediately started the retired Tom campaign officially started on my timeline. I want him to retire, but maybe he does and maybe he does. I think it's possible. Let's say that. For my
Yeah,
opinion, I think it's possible.
anything's possible, but if when I don't gamble on this
I'm
stuff,
sorry. Let
but
me be
if
clearer then, because I don't like the dismissive term. Let me be more clearer. I think if there's a high probability. If you're giving me a percentage, I'd say there's a 70% probability that he retires this year.
okay, well, I will rebut to that and say I think there's a 70% chance that he returns and tries to go after it one last time. Because let's be honest, the Buccaneers, if I'm not mistaken, I think all those guys are coming back. At least the important players for the Buccaneers aren't going anywhere. So and you're in the NFC South, and I don't see any of those other teams rising up to the occasion next season. Pending draft, free agency, and all that stuff. But right now, I don't see that for the Falcons, the Panthers, and the Saints. Why? If I'm Brady, why would I want to leave that? Knowing I got an NFC crown on the platter. Why would I
But you
do that?
still got to go see the Rams. But you still got to go see the Rams.
Sure,
Still got to
sure.
see the Packers.
I get it. I get it. You saw them same teams last year, and guess where they ended up. I get it. It's gonna be harder,
but
but it ain't like he ain't did it before.
please let's not pretend. But let's not act like this Rams team this year is the same team as the Rams teams last year. That's not the same. Like they got Matthew
No, they're
Stafford.
different. I get it. They're different. I get it.
Yeah.
But they can't beat them.
But
Those two different Rams teams beat this Bucks team, and yet they still went to the Super Bowl and won it.
No, but see now it's different because when they lost in the playoffs, the Rams, and I get when they lost in the playoffs, they said, "Oh shit, we got to get something that's going to combat what he does." For all intents and purposes, the Rams
to what?
have
Who
found
does? To what Brady does?
The Buccaneers. To what the Buccaneers do.
Oh, okay. Which was win the Super Bowl.
I mean the narrative.
Which was win the Super Bowl. I want to be clear about that because they got the Bucks number.
Well.
Let's be clear about that.
The Rams do?
Yes. Yes, they beat them twice in the regular season. This past regular season and then last year.
We talking about playoffs, bro.
And they got beat by them. And they got beat by them this weekend. That's what I'm saying. The Rams have the Buccaneers number. So that's why I'm saying it's really they got to get something to combat them getting to the Super Bowl. Not so much going through Tom Brady. They can beat Tom Brady. They've done it 3 times since Tom Brady's been there.
But we're clear that the Bucks are the Super Bowl champs, and that the Rams would have to get past them. I get what you're trying to say in theory, but we do understand that the playoffs and the regular season are 2 different animals, right? We do understand that Tom Brady is a different dog in the playoffs than he is in the regular season, right?
Yeah, I understand that, but that's why I said.
So for you to say, no. You just said when in your example of the Rams got the Buccaneers numbers, you brought up 3 regular season games.
No. I brought up 2 regular season games plus the game that they just played them in 2 days ago. Those are the 3 games that I'm referencing, and I understand that those 3 games, those are 2 different teams. Though I understand of those 3 games were played by 2 different Rams teams. I understand that point, but what you were trying to say was, oh, we got to get something to combat Tom Brady when they didn't have to go through Tom Brady, huh? They didn't have to go through Tom Brady.
Yes, no. But they know they're gonna have to go through Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Right, and they did that.
They're champs.
And they did that.
Right, they just did it, but they just did it after getting Matthew Stafford, bro. Like they know Tom Brady in the.
If you're saying, oh man, we can't get past Aaron Rodgers because that's a team that's got the Rams number. If you want to throw the Packers in this conversation, then
you're hung on this number thing.
Huh?
You're hung on this number thing. Hung on this number thing.
No, it's not even a number thing. The Packers in the last couple of years have beat the Rams twice. Once in the postseason and once in the regular season. They got knocked out last year by Green Bay.
But they're not but they're not Super Bowl champions though.
Right. But they went out and got Matthew Stafford because they knew that they were going to have to go through not just Tom Brady, but Aaron Rodgers too. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's not just Tom Brady. It's not just Tom Brady.
So you just argue with me because I didn't include Aaron Rodgers in my conversation when we were talking about Rams versus the Buccaneers?
Well, I'm not arguing with you because of this. You said that they went out to improve their team. You went out to improve you saying that the Rams went out to improve their team because
deal with Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, because they're the Super Bowl champions.
Right, and my rebuttal to that was, well, it's not like they've been beat by the Buccaneers the past 2 years. As a matter of fact, it's the other way around. They beat the Buccaneers twice in the regular season, and I get that's different from postseason. If anything, they should have been looking
so I'm not even counting that.
but if anything,
So I'm not even counting
they
that.
should be looking at the Packers and saying, "Whoa, we got to upgrade our roster so that we can get through Aaron Rodgers."
I'm sure that they
in
thought about the
addition to
Packers.
Tom Brady.
Okay, but that's fine. That's fine if we
That's
were
all I'm
talking about
saying.
the Packers.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm just saying that there's no way you're gonna get me to. Okay, if you would have started this conversation with add Aaron Rodgers to the conversation, I'm with you. But you're not about to tell me that the Rams didn't tool to deal with the Super Bowl champions because they knew they were going to have to see the Super Bowl champions in the playoffs.
Not just the Super Bowl champions. Include
okay,
Aaron Rodgers
all right. So
that.
we just had.
Include Aaron
Okay,
Rodgers
so we just
in
had
that
this
conversation because Aaron Rodgers beats the Rams.
with all due respect to the Packers, because you're right, they deserve to be in that conversation. The Rams are trying to win a Super Bowl, and they understand that
Yes.
the Super Bowl champs are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
So I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm
Yep.
saying is that what started this argument is you said that this debate. I'm sorry, that you said the Rams don't have to worry about the Buccaneers. They beat them, or they already got the Buccaneers numbers. They don't have the Buccaneers numbers because they haven't played them until just this Sunday in the playoffs.
Now, okay, in the playoffs. Okay, it's
because
a fact.
because we do understand that
Okay.
this is a different game.
Yeah, I get that.
Playoff couch, it's a different game, bro.
I get that. But they they beat the Bucks. Like, yes, it's a different game, but I'm just not gonna discount what they did to them in the regular season 2 times. Like, I could see if it was 1 time, but they did it to them twice in the regular season. That has to account for something.
Not in my book, it don't.
All right. Well, we got 2 different.
They got to
books
deal
then.
with the champs.
And they
It's
got
like
and that's some
couches.
and if it had to play this way, they would have had to deal with Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers beats the Rams.
In the playoffs, right?
all
I'm not disagreeing with that. So where you threw me off, we having a therapy session right now, and I don't really want to go back and forth because we're just having a therapy session about what went wrong in the debate. But essentially, what I'm saying is that if you had started this conversation with they got Matthew Stafford for Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, cool, no argument. But you started this debate with the Rams, and it almost sounded like you was dismissing, like the Rams don't have to worry about the Bucks because they beat them in the regular season. And what I'm saying is that, no, yeah, they beat them in the regular season, but that ain't got shit to do with the playoffs. It has nothing to do with the playoffs because the regular season ain't the 1 game off for the Super Bowl or the 1 game off to advance into your journey to the Super Bowl.
Would you agree
The
that
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
would you agree that they're thinking about both those teams? Would you agree that, damn, we got beat by Aaron Rodgers again?
I just agreed to that point already.
What's that?
I already agreed to that point. I already said yes. I said what I'm saying in rebuttal to agreeing to your point is if you would have just started the debate with they didn't just get him to beat Tom Brady, they got him to beat Aaron Rodgers, I would have said, yeah, facts, you're right. Mm-hmm. But you started the debate with the Rams have already beat the Buccaneers. My point of contention was no, they did not beat the Buccaneers when it mattered.
In the playoffs, they didn't lose to them. They just didn't play them in the postseason. That's all.
Yes, but who do you think the Rams respect more going into the season, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Green Bay Packers?
I'm sure they respect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers more than the Green Bay Packers, but even in
fact that they lost to the Packers, you gotta respect the champs more than you respect the team that beat you because the champs are the champs, and the champs beat the Packers. So we gunning for the champs, and we got a Super Bowl caliber roster. We're gunning for the champs.
They got a gun for both. Is my point. Maybe I might have misspoke earlier, but my whole point was
that's where I was thrown off at. That's all I was throwing off at. I don't want to have a therapy session.
Yeah. Maybe I misspoke, but my point was they need to gun for both. They can't just gun for one. especially when you know
I
that
mean,
you got an advantage over one versus the other. You got to take into account both teams. Is what is my point.
but they okay. I get you. I don't feel, but where we disagree is they don't have an advantage over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's where we disagree.
Yeah, they don't have a Super Bowl championship
Okay.
yet. That's a fact. Over the Buck,
They
the
haven't
Bucks
even had
have a
to play
chip.
them. They haven't even. Well, I'm saying they don't have an advantage over the Buccaneers because they haven't had to play them in the playoffs.
Up until this year.
Obviously, but I'm saying they got Matthew Stafford for this reason to deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
Yep, yep. And they got to
and
deal
the
with the
Green Bay
40.
Packers,
Yep.
but unfortunately that turned out even being a moot point because the Green Bay Packers couldn't beat the 49ers.
Well, and I was just about to mention the 49ers because the Rams have to deal with the 49ers now. And I get it. Regular season is regular season. Postseason is postseason. I'm just going to throw numbers out there. Numbers matter sometimes. The Rams lost to the Niners 6 times. And this is to a Niners team that's gone through some changes since that Super Bowl team a couple of years ago. And they let this team in the playoffs. I want to be clear about this.
Mm-hmm.
They let the 49ers into this tournament, and now they got to try to take them back out.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah. But getting to the 49ers.
Well, dealing with let's yeah, but I said
I want to get. I want to get to the game.
Packers.
I want to get to the game. So, and I don't know how you felt throughout the game. I don't know if you watched it or not, but it felt like all the way up until the block punt in the fourth quarter, that game felt so insurmountable for the 49ers to overcome, even in a 3-7 ball game. I mean, for a long time it was 7-3, but it just felt like Green Bay had this game, like maybe not in control per se, but maybe under some kind of command a bit up until that block punt happened. And once that block punt for a touchdown happened, I was like, Green Bay's in trouble now. they in trouble.
Fuck all that. Aaron Rodgers let that team down.
I
Period.
agree.
Period. I see. I don't want to talk about the who seemed like they was in control, the momentum game. Let's be clear. Aaron Rodgers is expected to put up more points in the playoffs than that, and he didn't. And he let this team down. I don't care. Block punt, all those things. Congratulations to the 49ers and to that's a good team. That's a 7 seed that's about to be into the NFC Championship. Props to them. All those things. Aaron Rodgers, who is a Hall of Famer, one of the best quarterbacks in this league, Super Bowl contenders. My prediction to make the Super Bowl. All those things involved, and he laid a fucking egg, and he should be thrown at the cross for this loss.
Yeah, I agree.
So it's cool. Like, yeah. I mean, if I was if this was inside the NFL, and I was the type of nigga that wanted to break down what happened at 8:38 of the second quarter and all those types of things, that take would be kind of relevant to me, but. It's not relevant to me because the fucking point is that Aaron Rodgers had a 49ers team that wasn't scoring points, and he couldn't take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that offense wasn't going for him.
Yeah, but the reason why it's important.
You're better than that.
But the reason why the point about them being in somewhat of command of the game is important to me because I watched that game from beginning to end, and I mean, for a point. It felt like I was about to just go to sleep because I just kind of knew what the outcome of this game was going to be. The 49ers on offense was just tripping all over themselves with the interceptions. Well, it was just one interception, but the block punt, the drop passes and just, not being in sync offensively. I just knew that Green Bay was going to win this game, even if it meant that they was going to win this game 7-3 or 10-3. Like, that's just how I saw this game ending up until, the block punt, and then Aaron Rodgers had a chance. He had a chance to take his team down the field and end this game, and he didn't do it. This loss is solely, and I mean solely, on Aaron Rodgers. It's on nobody else. Defense played, I don't want to say lights out, but defense did what they had to do.
They did their job. They
did what they had to do. And an offense that, usually puts up, 28, 30 points? Nah, this is solely in the hands of Aaron Rodgers.
Not acceptable.
Solely.
Not acceptable. Not fucking acceptable. So I don't care about, cause my thing is that like, and even to rebut your point again, momentum. Well, if you had all the momentum and you're this offense that you are, your point production is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Trash. Obviously he ain't trash, but that game was trash for Aaron Rodgers. That was a trash Aaron Rodgers game. And
would this still be the narrative if they won the game? I'm just asking.
Yeah. Okay. That was a trash game. Yes, okay. It would still be a trash game. I mean, but it's okay. Not. I'm not gonna sit here and be. I'm not gonna give Aaron Rodgers this energy if he wins the game. But it would still be a trash game. It would just be me calmly saying he played a trash game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, regardless, it was a trash game, but now you gotta get smoked because not only did you play a trash game, but you lost.
Yeah, you lost.
Playing a trash ass game, and you are this team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You lost. You lost, bro. So I
don't want to hear. Well, the special teams for Green Bay, they suck, and
because I saw that. I saw them saying that in the game. Like,
the special teams for Green Bay been sucked for years. For years, and no one's been able to say, hey, they need to rectify their special teams. No one has ever said Green Bay needs to upgrade their special teams.
For all intents and purposes, Trey, I heard them in the broadcast saying San Francisco's special teams was trash. Both of these teams was trash-ass special teams, to my understanding.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. About San Francisco, I didn't hear
I heard
about that.
I recall, and if I'm wrong, I would love to be corrected by somebody, but I remember hearing them say that when they spoke to Shanahan during the week, whenever they do their pressers, that he was concerned about losing the game in special teams.
To Green Bay? Okay. Okay. No, I'm not saying I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
Wow. To that.
So it's crazy.
Teams
so we dealing with two trash ass special teams. So Aaron Rodgers, you don't get no.
Yeah. Nah. Aaron Rodgers.
You lost the game.
Nah, he
couldn't put up 20 points.
It's his fault. It's his fault.
That's all I got to say about that game, to be honest with you.
Can I quietly give some credit to the 49ers defense, because they did make plays in this football game, and I think overall in these playoffs they held two great offenses in check in back-to-back weeks against the Cowboys and now the Packers. I think we gotta give them some credit, and I'm not gonna go down this road.
I'll give them some props.
I'm not going to go down this road, but I've heard people on television trying to insert them in the 85 Bears, 2000 Ravens, 02 Bucks conversation of great defense.
Really?
Yeah,
all of a sudden,
I've heard that. I've heard that, and I said, okay, that's cute, but they ain't in the Super Bowl yet. So unless they in the Super Bowl,
and then really,
we can't make that comparison.
They just started
right
winning
now.
the playoffs. Right, and we're not making that play. We're not making that comparison at all. Because even if they make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, those teams did it all year. We're just now talking about San Fran's defense in the playoffs. We're just now having this conversation after the divisional round. We wasn't saying this in week 4, week 8, week 12. So that's not.
It wasn't a conversation.
No.
That I agree with.
Right.
It wasn't a conversation.
So we're not about to do that.
I don't know what their point. I don't know what their point production is.
Yeah,
I don't know all that stuff. but it certainly wasn't a convo that people was having week in and week out. I agree there.
And we know who statistically the best team was. So come on, bro. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not
Yeah,
doing that.
no,
Cut that
I'm
shit
not
out.
going to do
Cut
that.
that shit out.
What I will do is I will credit the 49ers
Give
defense
them
for
props
back-to-back performances against great offenses.
against good offenses. Facts.
Yeah,
100%. That's
yeah.
where it stops. But that's where it stops.
Yeah, of course. And now they do this to the Rams this weekend, then my stance is
Then
still
we'll
going to
give
be
them
the
credit
same.
again.
Yeah, my stance will still be the
We'll
same.
give them
Hey,
credit again.
they hold another great offense to what 10, 15 points, whatever it could be possibly. But I'm not about to put them in the same category as no 85 Bears and no 2000 Ravens. I'm not doing that.
Fuck out of here. Yeah, fuck out of here.
I'm not doing that.
Fuck out of here.
So.
And I ain't gonna hold you in case you was wondering. The Rams is going to the Super Bowl. So.
Oh, I'm already on the Rams wagon now. Now that my Super Bowl pick is crumbled now.
They'll be there
because Aaron Rodgers messed it up. He messed up another Mahomes versus Rodgers for me. So, there goes that. So yeah, it's Rams for me. And to be honest with you, I don't want to see a rematch of 2 years ago. Because, quite frankly, they're going to get smashed again. 49ers and Chiefs. I don't want to see that rematch. I'm sorry.
No, neither do I.
I'm sorry.
I want to see offensive fucking warfare. I want to see offensive fucking warfare.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened the last time.
I want to see two teams that have been what they've been all year long. Not a team that's, just somehow... finding itself in the postseason against Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to see that. I want to see the rematch. You know what rematch I'm talking about. that 45 to 52, I think that was the score.
Yeah, whatever that was, yeah.
On Monday night a couple seasons ago. Yeah. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see right there. So, yeah, I'm on the Rams wagon already. And quite frankly, though, they at the crib, bro. Like, they know they beat the Buccaneers. They're going to be at the crib the rest of the way. So, is no excuses for the Rams at this point. It should be none. No excuses moving forward here.
Matthew Stafford and all that, they getting smoke if they lose. They getting smoke if they lose.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't care. And... I'm gonna go back to the season finale with these two teams. A point of emphasis in that game was that there were mad 49er fans in the building, so much that when the Rams were on offense, that they couldn't hear their calls. Like they couldn't communicate, they couldn't hear no stuff because it was as if the Rams were on the road in their own building. I don't care about that. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I don't care. Nope. They can block as many 49er fans from from buying the tickets all they want. They could do all those preventions and all that stuff. I don't give a damn. I don't care if other teams' jerseys is up in there. I don't care. Win the football game. You are better than this football team. I don't care if you've lost to them 6 straight. Win this damn game, Rams, please.
Yep.
That's all I ask.
Yep.
That's all I ask.
I ain't gonna beg you, but yeah, win the fucking game. Win that fucking game.
I don't want to see 49ers. I don't want to see them in the Super Bowl. I don't want to see Jimmy Garoppolo win a Super Bowl again. I don't want to see a rematch of that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because quite frankly, it's not a rematch. It's not a revenge game because you're still outmatched. you know what I'm saying? It's not like you're that team from 2 years ago. You're slightly different, but you're not that team from 2 years ago.
Yeah. I don't want to see it. I want to see Rams Chiefs. That's what I want to see. That's what I expect to see. More than that, I expect to see it.
That's my expectation. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
expectation.
With all due respect to the Cincinnati Bengals, who I predicted would be here, your
Mm-hmm.
time it has come. Joe Burrow, Jamal Chase, y'all have had an excellent run in your first year together in the NFL. This has ended for you, but let's give them props for beating the Titans, Derrick Henry Titans, and I got to eat my words because I definitely said that if Henry played, that the
Mm-hmm.
Titans would win,
Mm-hmm.
and that was not the case.
Yeah.
The Bengals still pulled it off. So props to the Bengals.
Yeah. My question was always how healthy, or not so much how healthy Derrick Henry was going to be. What percentage of Derrick Henry were we going to see? That really was my question. I didn't really kind of predict that if he was going to be in the game, that they was automatically going to win this football game. It was just a matter of, okay, he steps onto the field. How's this guy going to look? When he starts getting carries and stuff. And I got to tell you, bruh, he did not look like himself all the way back 100%. That maybe
Yeah,
that's coming off of the injury. Maybe that's just, too much rest, or, well, this is really the same thing,
Russ.
but, rust, but maybe it's those things. But he did not look like himself, and I wouldn't have been mad if Mike Vrabel gave, what's his name? Who is it? Foreman is the other running back, number 7.
Foreman, Deontay Foreman. Yeah,
Deontay Foreman.
Deontay Foreman.
I wouldn't have been mad at Vrabel if he'd have gave Foreman, some more carries. Because Foreman, when he was in, he did some nice things in there. I think he had
It
like
was doing the thing.
a
It was doing the
32
thing.
yard run. I think, when it was about to tie the game up there. But yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at Vrabel if he'd have gone. And I understand the respect that he was trying to give to Derrick Henry, like, hey, you back, so
Yeah,
we're gonna make sure
yeah.
you get your carries. But if you'd have diverted from that and said, hey, Foreman, you got the hot hand right now, go ahead and try to get us home, I wouldn't have been upset at that, even if they which they
Yeah,
did lose this game. Either way, I wouldn't have been upset with him on that.
yeah. See, for me, man, and I just wanted to see what yeah, cause he damn, I didn't realize he had that many carries. Derrick Henry, that Bama had 20 carries, and he didn't have a terrible game, but
Mm.
um, it, for me,
It's how he
I
looked.
thought he
It's
was
how
gonna
he
have a better
looked.
game.
Hmm.
Yeah, sure, sure. I thought he was gonna have a better game than what he had, but then it still comes down to Tannehill, man.
Cut
He
him.
had quarterback, bruh.
Cut his ass.
He had quarterback, man. But see, I hear you saying that, but he's in his second year of a big contract. Um, and for all intents and purposes, they seem to have something going. And again, I don't believe and I don't think anybody really believes he's the answer, like a franchise, 10 years answer. But
Right.
he's a right now stopgap, and you paid him, and he's only in the second year of it, or going into the third year of his contract, if I'm not mistaken.
I
So
got a question for you on that. I got a question for you on that because
yeah.
I hear you throwing the word stopgap out there, and he certainly played like a stopgap quarterback on Saturday. Do you really pay big money to stopgap quarterbacks?
For 4 years, I don't see. Look, I mean, when they paid him,
Hmm.
who was there? Who was on the market? He had already kind of given you that year. He had already. I mean, I kind of remember that year because he had legitimately outplayed Mario. He played Mariota out of Tennessee.
Yeah.
He played him out of Tennessee.
Hmm.
He had that good year where he was one of the most efficient quarterbacks in the league,
And you
and then he
saw
won a
him,
playoff game, if I'm not
and I
mistaken,
think
that year.
right, and I think more importantly, because I don't understand why people still
Or
don't see
Derrick Henry
this.
did.
I don't understand how people don't still see this, but regular season Ryan Tannehill, that the first full year that he started in Tennessee, he was throwing the football down the field, something that he wasn't doing in Miami. and people keep saying, "Oh, he's got a pea pistol for arm," and I'm like, well, it looked like that when he was in Miami, I guess because of the system, but with Tennessee, he's throwing the football down the field. Like you watch these games, that's what he's clearly doing. But you're right. That first year when they went to the playoffs and they got to the AFC title game, yeah, that was all Derrick Henry. I get Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. Ryan Tannehill threw touchdown passes. I don't want to take that away from him, but he didn't necessarily have to throw for 330, just to win the football game when Derrick Henry was, running roughshod over everybody. So yeah, I get why he got the contract, and I understand that there was no other options at that point. But if I'm the Titans, and I might possibly have Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, and I'm not throwing Jimmy Garoppolo's name in that mix, but I possibly got those three quarterbacks hitting the market, whether it be free agency or they get cut or they get traded. If I'm Tennessee, I'm making some phone calls. I gotta at least see what's up. Like I'm calling Seattle and saying,
I agree with that.
What's good? What's it gonna take? What do you want? What do you want? Other than Derrick Henry, what do you want? Like, I gotta make phone calls if I'm Tennessee, bro, because we
you give away AJ Brown in the first rounder. AJ Brown in the first rounder.
I think that's what Seattle would ask for. If it's between those two teams, I think that's what they ask for. I think any team would ask for AJ Brown in a first rounder or a couple of picks.
No, I'm saying if you're Tennessee, do you do that? AJ Brown in the first rounder, do you do that? For Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
You said you got to call and see what's up.
You probably have to. You probably have to. You probably have to do it.
Even though, and I'm just throwing a situation at you because it seems that you're sold on the get rid of Tannehill thing.
I'm on the train, bro. I'm on that train right now.
Yeah, but the success that I'm not gonna say that just Tannehill has brought you, but I'm only saying that just for the sake of this conversation.
Sure.
The success that Tannehill has you with Derrick Henry, they brought in Julio. Julio and the defense is doing their thing. Mm-hmm. You don't just burn the contract out and see what you could get out of these next 2 years. Because now it's not like I don't think they're in cap hell. They can still improve on this team and build around Ryan Tannehill. So do you? Right offhand, I don't think their tight end was so good this year. You know what I'm saying?
Because they let him go to New England.
Money towards, so maybe they put money towards a tight end. For instance, O.J. Howard, who I believe is a free agent, or is going to be available in the all season. So maybe you put the little money you got to get in Tannehill a tight end, and now we talking about a better chance at making a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't see how Tennessee, and I agree with you that Tannehill doesn't have the stuff to be a Super Bowl champion, in my opinion.
Right. Now, let me be clear.
Let
me be clear. I'm only on this train because of the possibility of the quarterbacks that are going to be available that are much better than him. I'm not saying this because it's just, they got to blow this thing up. If this isn't working, da-da-da-da. I'm saying that because of what could possibly be available to you.
Right, but what I'm saying in rebuttal to that is that if you go out for those quarterbacks, inertly you might be mortgaging your future for that guy.
Facts.
And the Tennessee Titans already have a team that we believe can at least make the AFC Championship. So for me, if I'm the Titans GM, I don't mortgage my future. I don't give away a first rounder that I could put on the offensive line or to a pass rusher, even though that pass rush is like that right now. I don't give away that first rounder for Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson right now. If I can just get me a better tight end, Give me another running back. Give me another running back. Give me somebody else in the offensive line to to help out. Like if you can get more stuff around Tannehill with Derrick Henry, I play that out because I already paid this dude at this point. I already paid him, and I'm only in my second year of the contract.
And you've gone through this season with those three guys, and I'm talking about Julio, AJ, and Derrick Henry that haven't played together for multiple games because of injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So you really don't know. Yeah. You really haven't gotten to see exactly what that's like when all three of those guys are on the field for at least 3/4 of the season. At the very least, 3/4 of the season they got to be out there to really see that. So
imagine they get like I said, imagine they get a tight end like a OJ Howard or Njoku who they talking about Cleveland trying to get rid of anyway. Like imagine they get that caliber of a tight end.
Yeah.
Added to that receiving core with Derrick Henry. You know what I'm saying? I would put my chips on Tannehill and hope for the best.
And maybe the COVID thing kind of resides somewhat because that's sort of been the thing also. Players missing games because they're on COVID protocols and, injuries and things like that. So, okay, I see your point if they run it back again and hopefully those guys stay healthy. Hopefully Derrick Henry comes back to being Derrick Henry. And, Julio Jones at this stage of his career is a possession receiver, but I would still take him.
He's solid number 2.
Right.
He's solid number 2 right
now. Yeah. Not to say that I wouldn't, take him or anything like that, but because you still need a guy that can move chains, and he could definitely do that for you. It's just really the availability of these guys at this point. So I kind of see where you're coming from with that. And maybe for me, it's just a spur of the moment kind of a thing where it's like, damn, like
man, and imagine. I'm sorry. Imagine. The Chiefs talking about cutting Josh Gordon and putting him on the practice squad or something. Imagine if the Titans could steal Josh Gordon and put Josh Gordon in the slot in Tennessee.
Right. Man, when was the last time we really seen Josh Gordon?
That's a problem.
When was the last time we really seen Josh Gordon?
He might have had 5 catches in Kansas City this year.
Okay.
He had a few catches in Kansas City this year. Nothing to.
Because, when the last time we seen him, I'm asking when the last time we seen him. I'm talking like he playing a full season. Like, I don't remember, because I don't know what
injury,
he is.
Though. It wasn't injury this year.
I know it wasn't
injury this year.
I'm just making a point that as much talent as Josh Gordon has, we've seen it that 1 year in Cleveland, and then that was kind of it. After that, it was suspensions. He gets cut. He goes to another team. Suspension, gets cut. Go to another team. Play a few snaps. Like, we really haven't gotten to experience the full Josh Gordon experience since that 1 year in Cleveland.
Sure. All I'm saying is that in Wonderland, the Tennessee Titans, they keep Ryan Tannehill. They are in a situation where they could get the likes of an offensive lineman in the draft, Njoku, OJ Howard at tight end, and a Josh Gordon in the slot, and they still got that little. I think they still got that little. Oh no, Humphries is in Washington, but they, you know what I'm saying. But that you put that type of height in the slot, that's a problem.
So
that's a problem.
The question I have is, and for me, I know my own personal answer. Is this team built to go up against these young guns in the AFC? My answer is yes right now, because they've beaten these teams. Again, I get it's regular season versus postseason, but this team has shown that it can go up against the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, the Patrick Mahomes.
Because they got Derrick Henry.
Yeah, this team is built to do that. But at the same time, on the flip side, this feels like it's heading toward what Alex Smith was to Kansas City for all those years. They were perennial playoff contenders. They were participants, and then they go out in the first round. They never got that far until he became sort of the sacrificial lamb for Patrick Mahomes, and then Patrick Mahomes took them over the top. It sounds to me like the Titans are heading in that direction, where Ryan Tannehill's not enough.
They don't have nobody.
No, I get it.
Yeah, but they don't have nobody.
Yeah. Sure. I get that point, and they may have to find that in the draft. Who knows? Or maybe one of these guys. Like I said, you got to get on the phone with some of these people. But it appears that this.
Yeah, but
I
don't think that's the same situation. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hear you, but I wouldn't compare it to that until these next 2 years in this contract is up, and that's when. But in the meantime, in between time, I'm not going to mortgage a first. Being nice, Aaron Rodgers demand 2 first rounders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Russell Wilson demand 2 first rounders.
I get
Deshaun Watson could damn sure demand 2 first rounders. You know what I'm saying? So that's like with this team already being in competition because they was just in the championship a couple of years ago.
Yep.
It would be foolish in my opinion to mortgage that when you just got to make a few, when you could just make a few, you know what I'm saying, roster moves, i.e. tight end, i.e. wide receiver, i.e. offensive line, and you can get all those with the money on your books.
Mm-hmm.
You can improve this team. You can improve this team in the offseason and be right in the hunt. They got the pass rush. They just need weapons that can score with these other teams. It's not even necessarily a Tannehill versus Mahomes anymore. It's legitimately the team against the team, the Chiefs against the Titans at that point, because there's so much around Tannehill.
It's like that with every. It's like that with all the teams, though, for real.
Well, you're not asking Tannehill to be a hero. Like, you know what I'm saying? We know that Josh Allen is playing hero football. We know Mahomes is playing hero football because of their skill set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you could throw a screen to A.J. Brown, a slant to A.J. Brown, and he could turn that bitch into a 50-yard, 65-yard touchdown.
He can break 5 tackles. A.J. Brown can break 5 tackles.
Same thing with Josh Gordon. At least what we know him to be prior. Mm-hmm. You know, you think he can't do that to a slot? A nickel corner. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? A Kansas City nickel corner or Daniel Sorensen.
I agree. I agree with you. I would like to see Josh Gordon play the slot. I'm just questioning at this stage how effective is he, because I haven't seen much of him. That's all.
Because you haven't seen him. Gotcha.
I just haven't seen him.
I'm just saying. I guess to put a button on the conversation is if I'm Tennessee, I try to build through the draft and free agency. You know, trying to find some deals on veteran players. I don't mortgage that team, what's around that team in their future for Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, or Deshaun Watson. Not the Titans.
Okay. I mean, we'll see what happens there. And I know the Rams mortgage. Well, really, the Rams didn't really. Well, yeah, they kind of did. They mortgaged their future, not just on the quarterback, but they brought in Jalen Ramsey. Like, they had to give up first round picks for him too. So the Rams are kind of all in. And rightfully so.
They are.
And here they are. Right. So and maybe the Titans.
And here they are.
And maybe the Titans feel like at some point, that's where we gotta be, and if we gonna get there, we might have to make the quarterback the sacrificial lamb for a much better one that could take us over the top. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. So you and I had a Twitter conversation about the Bengals after their win against the Titans Saturday, and I'll still keep my stance on this, and obviously, we watched the game. Joe Burrow got sacked 9 times. They still ended up winning the game because the Titans couldn't take advantage of those sacks. They couldn't take advantage of opportunities on offense. But this offensive line for the
And
Cincinnati Bengals. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to I want to make it important to set this up. I
Yep.
feel you where you're going on your setup, but I
Yep.
also want to say that play before that got them into field goal range was a play between Burrow and
Of
Jamar Chase.
course. Of
I just want
course.
to
Of
I just want
course.
to put that in the narrative.
Of course. And I'll talk about Jamar Chase in a second, but to the offensive line, this line is still not a good offensive line. And everybody on the timeline was like crushing the offensive line, and the first thing I could think of is, well, their line was bad last year. That's what got Joe Burrow hurt and out for the season. And they had a chance to address it. They didn't. They got Jamar Chase, who is a great talent. He's a great wide receiver and a game changer. I want to be clear about that because, every time I say that they should have went O-line versus a receiver, people coming at me like, oh, like you're saying they shouldn't have got him. And I'm saying, no, I'm saying that they didn't necessarily need Jamar Chase. They wanted Jamar Chase, which is fine. But I don't know why people are surprised about the Cincinnati offensive line. It's not like they just got bad all of a sudden in these playoffs. They were bad last year and they were bad this regular season. Burrow's been sacked the most this season. So it's not a surprise. And I'm gonna keep on this stance. There was an offensive lineman in that first round where I think they picked 6, I think. And there was a dude from Oregon. I forget the guy's name. He went to Detroit, and they passed up on him, and they went with Jamar Chase. And it's like, okay, all right, So here we
So
are.
just to
Go ahead.
so just to give you just for some sense of perspective.
Yep.
One, you draft Jamar Chase over that guy from Oregon. That's just where he's the best available player at the time. That's one, and two, clearly, you put that confidence in your quarterback. Your quarterback clearly went and said, "I want my guy." You put that faith in what you believe to be your franchise quarterback and get the guy that he wants. That's one. Two, in the second round, I'm looking at their draft, Cincinnati's draft class. They drafted a guard
Yeah,
in the
they got a
second
guard.
round.
Yeah, I knew that.
They got another offensive tackle in the fourth, and then they got a center in the sixth, and I believe and they got no, that's a end. So they did address it. They did address offensive line. They went and attempted to get offensive linemen. That's my second point. My third point is that we don't know that one guy from Morgan, and I don't know if he was a tackle or if he was a guard.
You mean the one that got drafted in the second round?
By Detroit. No, the guy that he passed up on ended up going to Detroit.
Oh, that was a dude. No, that was a guy from Oregon. That was a guy from Oregon.
Okay, Oregon. I thought you said Morgan. I'm sorry. But
Oregon,
that guy,
yeah.
that one guy doesn't solidify your offensive line. Does it help? Sure. But you don't get that one guy and then expect your offensive line issues to be fixed. The better route to go about it is to draft as many available as you go on through the draft. They drafted 3 offensive linemen and still got what we believe to be the offensive rookie of the year. So I just can't agree with the point. I can't agree with that narrative that they should have drafted the guy from Oregon when we have seen the offensive rookie of the year happen in front of our face. They still won the game. They're still in the playoffs right now.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear. The Cincinnati Bengals should have lost that game. Let's be clear about that. We know.
We ain't talking about what should have happened. We talking about what happened.
No, I understand
talking about what
that.
happened.
I understand that. 9 sacks. You losing a football game if your quarterback gets sacked 9 times. I'm sorry. That's an anomaly.
Bengals with Jamar Chase, who made
That's an anomaly. I'm sorry.
It is an anomaly, but it is an anomaly in the playoffs, sir. It is an
Huh?
anomaly in the playoffs.
It's an anomaly,
It is an
period. I don't
anomaly.
care when it happened.
No. You can't say you don't care because they won the game. The play
Yeah.
that got them
Why
in
did they
field
win
goal
the
range
game? Why did they win the game?
Because when they got the ball back, they threw an out route to Jamar Chase, the guy they picked over the guy from Oregon, and he got them in field goal range.
So
that's the play that got them into field goal range.
Okay, so we just gonna discredit the fact that Tannehill was some trash. We just gonna discredit that?
No, but we're also not going to poo-poo on the fact that Cincinnati offense, in lieu of their bad offensive line, did what they had to do to get in position to win the game. Because let's be clear,
of course.
We're tough. Aaron Rodgers played a trash game. He lost. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't play a great game against against Green Bay. And he still won being a trash quarterback.
And the Niners should have lost too. The Niners should have lost that game.
So my point is, all I'm saying is that you're saying that they should have drafted an offensive lineman when this dude was literally he was top 5 wide receivers in the game this year. I can't understand how you could say I would rather have an offensive lineman than a top 5 wide receiver in the league, and this team is in the AFC Championship.
Did we know he was going to be top 5? I didn't know he was going to be top 5.
Did we know that this guy from Oregon was going to shore up the offensive line?
No, but it was a need. That's what I'm saying. We knew what the Cincinnati Bengals needed. Okay,
they still attempted to address the need.
Okay,
and I'm gonna cut you off. And to make an argument, they didn't have a number 1 receiver before Jamar Chase came in.
That I agree with, but was that really a need for them?
So who's to say?
Was that a need more than the offensive line?
A number 1 receiver was.
Was that a need more than
that way?
addressing the offensive line?
We don't know the true answer, but it seems that they needed a number 1 receiver more than they needed an offensive line because that number 1 receiver got them into the AFC Championship. He's damn near solely responsible, and to add to the point of this that the number 1 receiver was needed more. We still got a top 4 rusher statistically in Joe Mixon on that bad offensive line.
Well,
so as bad as we're making the offensive line out to be, this was still a top offense in the league without that guy from Oregon.
Okay, so you know what? They need to go to the Super Bowl then. For me, if they're gonna solidify the pick,
no,
they need to go to the Super Bowl then. They need to
Are
go
you
to the
crazy?
Super Bowl.
They were in the playoffs. They weren't in the playoffs last year. Are you crazy? They were in the playoffs last year, and now they're in the AFC Championship. The Bengals. They were in the playoffs last year.
They was in the playoffs?
Cincinnati Bengals. I said they were not in the playoffs.
Oh,
I said they were not in the playoffs.
Oh.
They went from not being in the playoffs to being in the AFC Championship with a top 5 receiver in the league, a top 5 rusher a top 5 offense in the league, and you're saying that they should have got a offensive lineman from Oregon because they got sacked 9 times in a game that they won?
Yeah, but it's not like they just got bad. Yeah, I could see if the offensive line was good throughout the regular season, and then they just had a bad game.
You keep saying they bad.
He was the most sacked quarterback this season. Look it up. He got sacked 50-something times. It's the most of all the quarterbacks.
But the offense was still one of the best in the league.
Yeah, I get that. I'm not arguing that.
You can't poo-poo that, Trey.
I'm not poo-pooing the offense. I'm strictly talking about the offensive line. And people that was so up in arms about this guy getting sacked 9 times is acting surprised like this line wasn't bad this regular season and last year.
The only point that I'm arguing is that you said to me via Twitter that they should have drafted the kid from Oregon over Jamar Chase. That is the most ridiculous tweet I think you've ever tweeted in tweet history.
So let me
Outside of
ask
the
you
Jamel Hill
something.
tweet.
So let me ask you
That is
something.
the worst tweet you've ever tweeted ever.
So let me ask you something. So those 3 offensive linemen that you just named me that they drafted second round and beyond, are those guys playing in the playoffs right now? I don't
Have
know
no
for
clue.
certain.
Have no clue.
Okay,
Have no clue. I have
okay,
no clue.
Okay, because that's something that I would like to know if all 3 of those guys have participated. I'm sure the second round guy has. I'm not sure about the other guys beyond that, because I think that's important. They addressed it.
I don't know how important that is. They addressed it. That's my point. That's all my point.
Well, they addressed it and they're still bad.
They got their offense.
They addressed it and they're still bad. Is that not a fact?
But you can't.
Is that not a fact?
But you're saying that as if you. But that is a fact. But you're saying that as if you're clear that the guy from Oregon would have made them good, and you don't know that. What you do know for a fact is that even in lieu of their bad offensive line, which you deem it to be, which I got to look at it and say, I don't know that they're a bad offensive line anymore, even though they were the most sacked. He was the most sacked quarterback.
In pass protection, they certainly are. In pass protection, they are.
I'm sorry, Joe Burrow is still one of the top passers in the league amidst him being sacked so many times. So, yes, I get that he's being sacked too much. I'm not disputing that. What I am emphatically saying is that this team is not in the AFC Championship without Jamar Chase. They're not there.
And Ryan Tannehill being some trash.
No. Okay, I'll do you one better. They're not winning the division without Jamar Chase. They're not in the playoffs at all without Jamar Chase.
That I agreed with you with. That we talked about that on Twitter, and I said the connection, that connection won them the AFC North. That I agreed with you solely on Twitter. I'm talking about beyond this point now. You win the playoffs, and you're going up against some good D-lines.
Okay, let me put it this way. Let me put it this way. Would they have been in the playoffs with that guy from Oregon?
I don't know.
Do you believe?
I don't know, but I'll say this. I don't know, but I'll say this. Let me hold on, Tom. Let me say this. I don't know if that one guy would have made a difference, but let's just hypothetically say they drafted the kid from Oregon, right? And let's say they still continue to address the offensive line. Like, let's say they picked the guy from the second round and those 2 other names that you mentioned earlier, along with the kid from Oregon. Let's say they did that. Let's say they revamped their whole offensive line. Yeah, let's say they revamped the whole offensive line, right? I would venture to say that if Joe Burrow gets better protection, that Joe Burrow, and if Joe Burrow is who we think he is, that he can make other guys better, that they still would have been a good offense.
Okay. I'll accept that point while I disagree with it.
Like let's say instead of 57 sacks, I think that was the number, 50 something sacks. Let's say that number gets cut to like 23, 24. Let's say that. I think the Bengals have a good shot of still being competitive throughout the season, possibly winning the AFC North. If Burrow has time and he could find guys, yeah. I think they have a chance to be there without a Lamar Chase. Now again, I'll make sure I phrase this. They wanted Lamar Chase. I keep calling him Lamar. Jamar Chase. They wanted Jamar Chase. They didn't need Jamar Chase.
But they needed the guy from Oregon.
Yeah, what was the problem with the Bengals? What was the problem? What was the problem with the Bengals the year Burrow got hurt? What was the problem? Everybody said, "Hey, they need to address the offensive line." That was a need.
They did address the offensive line.
And they still some trash.
But you keep saying they trash because he got sacked so many times. But how are they trash if he's had the opportunity, if they've helped produce a top 5 rushing running back, all purpose as well, and a offensive rookie of the year who's a top 5 receiver in the league, and a top 5 quarterback. They can obviously pass protect if he's a top 5 quarterback in the league.
Well, imagine if they were that much better. Imagine if they were that much better.
They're not that much better with Jamar. They're not as good without Jamar Chase, Trey. That's a number 1 receiver.
They're probably not as good, but don't tell me But don't tell me that Joe Burrow with better. Don't tell me that with Joe Burrow with better protection from his offensive line, without a Jamar Chase, that he couldn't be just as good as he is now with Jamar Chase.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
He's a better quarterback with Jamar Chase than he is with that cat from Oregon right now. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Are they a better team?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Are they a better team?
Only time can tell because then the AFC, we'll never know. We're never going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
We're never going to. How are we going to find out? They're not going to draft. We're not going to be able to get from Oregon to play next year without Jamar Chase. We're never going to find out.
We can find out this weekend. We can find out this weekend. And again, I'm not picking the Bengals to beat the Chiefs.
That is not true, Trey. That is not true.
No. Listen to me.
That is not true.
Hold on a minute.
There's no way.
Hold on a minute.
It's false.
Hold on a minute. He got sacked 9 times against the Titans. If he gets sacked 9 times again this weekend, they're losing this football game by a lot. You're losing this game by a lot.
No, I agree with that. But what I'm telling you, you're wrong at is you're not going to be. If they don't beat the Chiefs, you're not going to sit here and tell me they should have got the guy from Oregon because they lost to the Chiefs, the best team in the AFC. That's wrong.
But I might tell you that they need to have a better offensive line. If they had a better offensive line, then they'll be in striking distance of beating the Chiefs. But I think they'll be in striking distance
regardless.
Huh?
They're not getting their doors blown off. It's crazy.
They're getting their doors blown off.
They're going to lose. I agree. They're going to lose. They're not getting their doors blown off.
They're going to lose, and they're going to get their doors blown off this weekend.
How do you... Okay, so you said to me early in this episode, who were we talking about? We were talking about the Rams beating the Buccaneers, and you feeling like the Rams got the Buccaneers number because the Rams beat them in the regular season. Mm-hmm. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Kansas City Chiefs in the regular season when the Chiefs were hot, and you're telling me now that regular season win don't count?
I didn't say it didn't count, but I wasn't even referencing that regular season game. I wasn't even referencing that game though.
No. Let me bring it full circle. Then let me bring it full circle like that. The Bengals are going to get their doors blown off when they just beat the Chiefs at the end of the regular season.
But you said regular season is different from postseason. You said that. I'll circle back and tell.
No. I'm playing to your narrative. If you can believe that the Rams have the Buccaneers number because of what happened in the regular season, then why can't you believe that the Bengals have the Chiefs number?
Because it's different. It's different because the Rams were a perennial playoff contender and they were in the playoffs and realized, we got to go upgrade the quarterback positions. This is the Bengals' first go-around in the postseason for this young team. It's different.
To your account, that was the Rams' first go-around with the Buccaneers.
No, that wasn't.
That wasn't the Rams' first go-around with the Buccaneers?
No. If you're talking about two regular season games between those two teams, plus the game they just had on Sunday.
Regular season.
That's two regular season games and the playoff game. That's 3 games. Add that to the fact that the Rams were in the playoffs the previous year and got knocked out. And I think they were in the playoffs
by the
year
Packers.
After that too. Right. So I think the situation is different because the Rams got into the postseason and realized, oh snap, if we don't upgrade XYZ position, then we're not going to get to where we got to go. So that's why we got to go do what we got to do to upgrade the position and then be where we're at now. The Cincinnati Bengals are not in that situation. The Cincinnati Bengals are in the playoffs for the first time in 5-6 years. This is an up and coming team. We know what the Rams are. We don't know what the Bengals are yet.
Okay, no. What I'm saying is that, and I'm talking about the relationship between two different teams. So I'm relating the Rams and the Bengals, and I'm relating the Buccaneers and the Chiefs.
Okay. Three games compared to one. 3 games compared to one.
No, 3 games to 2. Well, 3 games is getting ready to be 2. 3 games to getting ready to be 2.
Okay, even if you take out the game from Sunday, take that game out from Sunday, that's still 2 games to 1 game.
Well, we can't take the playoff game out. We're talking about the playoffs.
Okay, so then that's 3 games to 1.
What?
That's 3 games.
It was 3 games.
It was 3 games between the Bucks and the Rams.
Okay, all right. Let me, because now we just dragging.
Am I missing something?
Okay,
I'm just trying to address your question. I'm trying to address your question.
No. Okay. Hear me again. You said. Mm-hmm. And I'm only playing to what you said to me earlier in this episode. You said the Rams have the Buccaneers number.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yep.
Because they beat them one time last year in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Because they beat them one time this year in the regular season.
Right.
So that's 2 regular season games.
Yep.
Okay. So far. What I'm proposing is that why don't you feel like the Bengals have the Chiefs number when they beat them this year, 1 game? So This is 2 games here and 1 game here.
And that's why.
In the regular season.
That's why.
So let's be clear.
Mm-hmm.
The first game was not with Matthew Stafford. So I don't even know why we're talking about that game.
Well, because it's the Rams. Sure, I understand you're trying to slice it in half because of the quarterbacks.
I don't even know, because that's a totally different team. No, it's not just the quarterback. It's a team that also has Von Miller. It's a team that also has Odell Beckham. This is a different team.
Well, Von Miller and Odell Beckham wasn't. They weren't.
You're right. They weren't there this year. You're right. They weren't there. You're right.
They were traded later in the season.
Okay, but. Yeah, I'm agreeing. I agree. You got me there.
Okay.
But at the same time, so you're saying that 1 extra game is the reason why you feel like the Rams got the Buccaneers number, and and I'm just saying potentially, the Bengals can't have the Chiefs number? That 1 game that 2 years ago? That 1 regular season game 2 years ago?
To me, it's still different because, again, Nobody saw this Bengals team coming. I'm gonna use the terminology you use when we were talking about Bills, Ravens, Chiefs earlier, in the season. Nobody saw the Cincinnati Bengals coming, right? So this is an upstart football team that, they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I totally understand that. They beat the Kansas City Chiefs in their own building. In a comeback situation, might I add. I will add that. I won't leave that out. But it's 1 game versus a team that's an upstart team in the Bengals. With the Rams and Bucks, we know that for about a couple years, the Rams have been playoff contenders. We know who the Rams are. And I get that the Rams have upgraded since then.
We don't know who the Rams are yet. I'm about to say we don't know who the Rams are. We know we had expectations of the Rams.
Expectations.
We don't know who the Rams are.
I'll use expectations. Yeah. We have more expectations of the Rams than we do of the Cincinnati Bengals. Is where I'm separating that argument from. So the reason why, here's why I say that I think they're going to get their doors blown off this weekend, because the offensive line, and again, I get their offense They can still put numbers up. They still got Jamar Chase, and quite frankly, I don't know who's faster, him or Tyreek Hill. But if that guy gets put on his back, if that guy gets put on his back 9 times, and I don't think it's going to be 9 times, but if he gets put on his ass 5 times, I don't know that the Bengals can keep this game close. Because the Chiefs are not going to make the same mistakes that the Titans made. They're not turning the ball over.
I agree there.
They're not gonna throw 3 interceptions. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a hobbled running back. You know what I'm saying? This Chiefs offense is, this is a potent offense that's got all its parts working right now. This is different. This isn't the Titans.
Cincinnati. So does Cincinnati, though. And let's be clear. The Chiefs are going to win. They're not getting their doors blown. The Bengals not getting their doors blown. So you got them winning by 14?
I got them winning by, yeah.
Because you said doors blown.
I didn't think about the point. I didn't think about the point differential. I was thinking more, okay, they're going to get beat by 2 scores, whether that's by 10, whether that's by 12, but I'll go with 14. I'll go with 14.
Okay, well, you said doors blown off, and let's be clear, 10 points and a door is blown off.
Sure, but I don't think
that's not doors blown off.
I don't think they're going to be in a position for a game-winning field goal, a game-tying drive. I don't think they're going to be in position for that.
I disagree. But okay.
Whether it means they could tie it, they could take a lead, they could cut it to 7, and then maybe can't get the ball back. I don't see that situation. So you think it's going to be close? You think it's going to be what, 7-point game?
7-point game, 7 or less.
You think it's 7 or less? Okay.
7 or less.
Well, for the sake of entertainment, I hope that's the case, but the offensive line is going to have to play better. They're gonna have to play better than they get against
That's
Tennessee.
A fact.
All
I'm trying to get you. All I'm trying to convince you of is that there is no way in hell they should have picked up that guy from Oregon when the offensive line hasn't been a hindrance enough for them to not be a top offense in the league with a top 5 quarterback, receiver, and running back. There's no way that Jamar Chase was a bad choice. That's all I'm trying to convince you of.
Sure, but I think if this line was better, I would really, honestly, I would give them a shot to go to the Super Bowl if this line was better than what it is and what it has been in the regular season.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
No, you would
not,
I would, sir.
I would.
You would not, sir.
Yes,
I would. They would
be
the Buffalo Bills, and they would be the Buffalo Bills if they were that. No, they wouldn't, because they don't have a number 1 receiver. So no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. I don't think it. If they had picked up, if they had got their, forget the draft. Let's say they got their offensive line right and didn't have Jamar Chase.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't saying that. I was saying that if they have Jamar Chase, and their line was better, then I would give them a chance to. I would give them a great chance to go to the Super Bowl, not the other situation I was talking about, where they don't pick them up in the draft and they go. No. I think
they need Jamar Chase.
I think now, after watching their season and everything, yeah, I've come to that conclusion. But I also think that if he gets better protection, I think without Jamar Chase, I think Joe Burrow can still find his guys. I think he can still be a productive quarterback. I think the offense can still, be productive.
Produce, but they're not this, though. But they are not this.
Sure.
But they are not this.
Sure. If they get a line at some point between now and whatever.
And let's be clear.
Yeah.
They're this good, and still have an opportunity to go get more offensive linemen in the draft this year. So for me, it's not like
it's got to get better. But they got to make the right picks. You're right. They got the opportunity to make
Sure.
it. They got the opportunity, but they got just like this past draft where it hasn't worked out. It's got to work out moving forward in the next draft.
They're
If they
not.
pick, it's
Yeah,
got to
they're
work
not
out.
losing. They're not losing. They're not losing Joe Burrow. They're not losing Mixon. They're not losing
Yep.
Chase. They're not losing T. Higgins. They're not losing Tyler Boyd. They're not
Yeah.
even losing C.J. Uzuma or Samaje Perine if they want to hold on to him. Like this
They're.
offensive skill players
Mm-hmm.
are still going to be intact for the most part, and they're going to have plenty of time to, and they're going to have a draft, to get the bolster. They
Mm-hmm.
might even, depending on their cap situation, they might even be able to go and try to grab veteran players. They've made the right move, bro. This whole, just to kind of bring it back to what we're talking about.
Yep.
There
Yep.
is no way Jamar Chase
Mm-hmm.
was the wrong choice in this draft. That's all I'm trying to convey.
Okay. So and I guess I'll kind of put a button on the conversation. So for everybody that's complaining about the offensive line and Burrow got hurt last year and this line is still terrible and stuff. Look, don't be surprised because I brought attention to that last year when he got hurt that the line was bad. So look, it is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. So that I think they're a better offensive line away from actually getting to the Super Bowl.
Well, even in the midst of that, bro, they still gonna have to deal with Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. So
Of
let's
course, of course.
so you know what I'm saying. Yeah, let me be clear about that. I'm not ready to even if their offensive line is good next year.
Yeah,
My reservation is still going to be they got
they
to
got to
deal
deal with
with
each other.
Patrick Mahomes. They got to deal with Josh. He still got to deal with Josh Allen. So I'm not even like
Yep,
he's not on that level yet. He's only done
yep.
it for a year and a half.
Sure. And at some point, they're gonna have to deal with Joe Burrow. At some point, they're gonna have to deal with each other.
If Joe Burrow is who, if Joe Burrow is who we think he is,
Yep.
he hasn't done it for a long time.
Hasn't done it for a long time, but I think what we see is, promising right now. I think there's a
I agree.
swagger
I
about
agree.
him
I'm
for
just saying he's
certain.
not proven.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
Yeah.
he's not proven yet. That's all I'm
Sure.
saying.
Sure. No, I get it. I mean, you know how you see some guys and you're just like, okay, yeah, this guy doesn't have it. Yeah, I think Joe Burrow has it,
He looks
but
like
yeah,
he got
we just
it.
need to see more. We need to see more for certain.
Yeah, I'm not putting him in the realm of Mahomes and Josh Allen right now. Respectfully. And I'm not putting Herbert there either, respectfully.
Mm-hmm. So
They got the glimmer in their eye, but they gotta put the work in.
sure. No, absolutely. So I'm not really into breaking down these two games. I think you and I know who we want and who we expect to be in the Super Bowl, and that's the Chiefs and the
Yep.
Rams. I will say this
Yep.
though. I will say this. If there was a road team to pull off an upset, I think it's more likely gonna be San Fran to pull off the road
I
upset.
disagree. I disagree. I
Okay.
think it's more likely to be Cincinnati.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's more likely to be Cincinnati.
Okay. Okay. I disagree with that, but I think we both have perfect
Yeah.
reasons for that. So I don't think we need to
Yeah.
get into them. I think we know what the reasons are.
And real quick, I don't know how much more you got, but before you get into whatever, I just want to give a shout out to Sean Payton who retired, 16 years with the Saints, and
Mm-hmm.
I think longer, however long he was with Dallas, but and I don't know
Mm-hmm.
where he was at before
The
Dallas,
Giants.
but
He was the OC. He was the OC on
congratulations.
the Giants team that went to the Super Bowl in 2000.
Huh, shit, I ain't know that. But
Yeah.
congratulations on a career well coached. Dallas fans all over Twitter and Facebook are saying he on his way to Dallas. We'll see how that turns out, but
Mm-hmm.
congratulations on retirement. Obviously one of the better coaches in his time.
Yep.
Top five easy in his time. So,
Mm-hmm.
congratulations to Sean Payton.
Yeah. And some people think that he's only going to stay retired for 1 year. And then you have some other folks that think that he's going to get into broadcasting, which which is a possibility. I heard a rumor earlier today that that it's possible that Troy Aikman might step down from the booth, and that Sean Payton might take his spot on Fox. Again, that's just a rumor. But he's certainly got opportunities to broadcast no matter who it's with. I don't know.
Right.
I don't think in regards to the whole Dallas thing, because that's another thing. Like, people think that Jerry's gonna wait one more year, and if it don't work out with McCarthy, then he's gonna go after Sean Payton. I don't know that to be the case. And of course it's depending on how Dallas does next year. It's dependent on that. But,
yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't know how you feel about it.
Well, all I'll say is, well, what I'll say is that it seems like the what's the word I'm looking for? The zealous Dallas fans seem to be pining for McCarthy to be fired and Sean Payton to be hired. I guess the more level-headed Cowboy fans I've talked to today seem to believe that McCarthy will be fine. And if anything, if McCarthy is fired, then the OC in Dallas would be upgraded to head coach. That's what more level-headed Dallas fans feel like. Kellen Moore, there you go. That he would be upgraded to head coach is what people tend to think. So it could be either way. I guess if I had to make a choice, if you're making me make a gamble, I think that Sean Payton is going to do more of the sportscast and the media thing. They came out with the the biopic of Sean Payton's why he was suspended from the NFL. You remember that Netflix movie? So maybe he got plans to get more into the media and that thing. Maybe he got plans to do that. I'm not sure, but if I had to take a guess, he's leaning more towards staying out of coaching.
Yeah. I think he's done. And that whole Dallas thing, the Kellen Moore thing, certainly looks like a Jerry hire if that were to ever happen, because he wouldn't take away spotlight from Jerry if that makes sense. Sean Payton could be the guy that could take the spotlight away from Jerry. That's also part of why I don't think it's realistic. So yeah, congrats to Sean Payton. And so now you got the Saints with a head coaching opening now. So that's 8 head coach openings now. So and we still got GM openings too. But I think the Giants got their GM already, and they're interviewing coaches right now. So, but it's nobody that I preferred. Granted, I'm looking for a healthy
50% black coach hire rating or higher. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I would like.
Yeah, so that would 50%. Mean 4. That mean 4. Yeah, 4 positions.
4 out of the 8.
Black. Yeah.
Yeah.
And really GMs too. Yeah. I don't want to discount the GM position also.
Yeah.
You got I think there's 3 openings left. I would like to see a couple of those get filled by black people.
I agree.
Yep.
I agree.
Shout out Kesey and Mocha Bella in the Facebook live chat. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in.
What up?
Appreciate everybody's time. Just a few things. Just continue to follow us on Instagram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast, and also on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. We got the YouTube channel. We also got the Facebook page, and you can listen to us on any of the streaming platforms. And if you got any questions or comments about the show, y'all can email us at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, any last words, bro?
Hey, man, I would like to officially welcome the Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to the playoff couch.
And not Not the Titans and the who's the other team? The Bills.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the Titans and the Bills. I'm sorry. I don't know why I forgot about them so
I'm like,
fast.
wait a minute. I'm
The
like, wait a
Titans
minute.
and the Bills also.
I'm like,
I
wait a
don't know
minute.
why I was only thinking about those teams. I don't know. I don't
I'm
know.
like, wait a minute.
I don't know.
You're
My apologies
separating.
to the Titans and the Buffalo Bills.
First,
Yeah, my
first you're
apologies.
separating
My apologies.
couches from teams that didn't make the playoffs to teams that are booted out the playoffs. Now you're trying to split couches between teams that are in the playoffs getting knocked out.
Yeah.
Something wrong with
Yeah,
you, man.
no. Yeah, just one playoff couch, bruh. I would
Something
like
wrong
to
with you,
welcome
bro.
all four teams: the Buffalo Bills, the Tennessee Titans, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Green Bay Packers. Welcome to the playoff couch. The popcorn taste, the bruised Dakota, and you get a lap dance.
Oh, so what? The Ravens don't get a lap dance, huh?
Hell no, y'all niggas don't get no lap dance.
What?
Y'all brews are warm, and the popcorn is stale.
Uh, I don't know. I like to think that
And it's not in the club.
uh, it ain't in the club. It's somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere in an apartment, but it's still a nice couch though. I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, y'all. You have a good week. We'll be back next week with some sports talk. One love. Peace.
Love.
Recording stopped.